Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news, headlines from our city, our state, and our country. We take a look at your comments, your ideas, your questions, your suggestions, and your interactions so that we can take all this information, put it to good use as a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta on a full-time basis. Some of you seasonally, some of you come here for vacation, but everyone is welcome here. Today is Friday the 28th, and the weekend is upon us. It's getting warmer out there, but it sure feels nice and fresh inside of Casa Coffee and Headlines. It's a pleasure to see you, and particularly it's a pleasure to welcome those of you that are watching live for the first time. If that is your case, feel free to let us know by simply writing the word new in your comment, and we'll be happy to give you a nice little welcome. And of course, if there's something really important that you wish to share with us, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q to your comment, and we'll be happy to take a look at it during the comment section later on. Let us take a quick look at the news. We start with nasty news, because the United States Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control has sanctioned an individual along with local companies linked directly or indirectly to timeshare fraud here in Puerto Vallarta, led by the cartel. The article referenced here has a link to the Department of Treasury's press release, which includes the specific names of the aforementioned person and companies. And of course, I will leave a link to that press release on the show notes for you to peruse. Now, this one is interesting to me because I think it proves a point. Vallarta Opina reports that once again, the southbound traffic along the main highway, southbound traffic headed into Puerto Vallarta, collapsed from the Ameca Bridge all the way back to the Mezcales intersection. This happened yesterday morning around 9 o'clock in the morning as many tourism employees were heading to work. The article further speculates along the same lines as I'm about to, saying that, of course, this had nothing to do with any type of demonstration. What simply happened was there was an accident somewhere along the way. But the article does mention that since the new portions of the highway have been opening over the past few months, the increasing inbound traffic from Guadalajara and other points is making even the smallest incident along the road turn into a major nightmare. And this is bound to continue happening until, of course, an alternative access into Puerto Vallarta, namely the Federación Bridge, is completed so that incoming traffic can diversify itself a little better. And now some good news. Singer Alejandro Fernandez, who turns out has a charitable foundation, has partnered with the government of Jalisco to announce the opening of 4 community music schools in the state, with hopes that these new facilities will stimulate musical expression in children that find themselves in vulnerable situations. 2 of them we know where they're going to be located. One is going to be in Tlaquepaque, and the other one is going to be in the municipality of San Pedro Itzican. And 2 additional schools remained to be, their location remains to be determined. Moving along, if you have been intrigued about this business of the recent proposal approved by the lower chamber to reduce the work week in Mexico from 48 to 40 hours a week, I have an update. The Senate didn't even discuss the motion. It was simply filed away and won't be discussed until September, when the Senate meets again, or so they say. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with this one, whether it's going to be a swift decision or if it's going to end up in the back burner like other decisions that are yet to be determined by the Senate. Let us take a quick look at the weather just to see what's going on out there. I haven't even looked at my weather yet, so let's see what Snarky Weather says. I'm filling the clouds over areas with high concentration of Anheuser-Busch boycotters with Bud Light. Okay, I kind of know what that is about, but I haven't been following that story very closely. 25 degrees right now. Humidity is high at 57%. Not as high as it's going to get, but you can definitely feel it. And our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 77. Our forecast for today: humid with mostly clear skies through the day, a high of 29 and a low of 19. Tomorrow, Saturday, mostly clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 30 and a low of 19. And Sunday will be a humid day with mostly cloudy skies through the day. And there's a chance of precipitation of 5%. So we're starting to see these occasional chances of rain showing up. The temperature, the high will be 29, the low will be 19. So we are getting hotter, humider, more humid. It's getting hot, it's getting humid, and hopefully it'll start raining, although we don't anticipate that happening anytime soon. Let's see. I also want to tell you that yesterday's music appreciation presentation on the piano was heavenly. I'm still looking at topics to consider for the Thursday, May 18 one, which will be the next one. But I do want to ask a question that is in relationship with what happened yesterday. And this question is, when was the last time you sat down to listen to music and do nothing else, whether at home or at a concert or a place dedicated for music listening? And the reason I ask this is because probably my favorite moment from yesterday had to do with a specific moment in which over a dozen attendees and yours truly were listening to something, and I all of a sudden looked at the audience, and some people had their eyes closed, some people were just listening attentively, and it was a beautiful reminder of how good it feels to submit to music listening or to a good book or to any activity that we can enjoy with undivided attention. And we actually had a conversation about this during the performance or during the event, in which we regretted the fact that Puerto Vallarta does not offer that many opportunities to enjoy to enjoy. What am I trying to say? To enjoy music without any distractions. Even at some of the venues, you're trying to listen to the music and there will be the occasional blender preparing margaritas or somebody eating food and whatnot. What I'm trying to say is find some time for a book, find some time for music. It really is nurturing to the soul, or so I think. Moving right along. And of course, I want to thank everybody that was there. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Now, moving right along, Puerto Vallarta's Department of Culture has announced a fun-free event to take place on May 26th as part of Gay Pride celebration this year. The Mexico de Colores all-male folkloric dance troupe will perform at the Los Arcos Amphitheater from 8 to 9:30 p.m. for free. And according to the announcement, the company uses Mexican folklore as the foundation for their performance, which is a combination of cabaret, pantomime, theater, satire, and comedy. I'm looking forward to this one because I've enjoyed other all-male dance troupes like the Trocadero de Monte Carlo, and they are absolutely hysterical. I'm going to leave you with a link to this event and also to the link for the dance troupe in case you want to follow their activities closer. And then I was reminded by a news article, have you stopped at the allegedly prettiest Oxxo in town? It's located along Highway 200 south of Puerto Vallarta. And it is considered the prettiest in town because it has a spectacular view of the bay from the inside and also from its parking lot. So if you're headed down to Mismaloya at some point, and you will see it, it's difficult to miss this yellow structure. Maybe you want to stop by and check it out and let us know what you thought about it. Or if you have stopped by, please feel free to share your comments. I've seen it, but I've never actually stopped by there. Once again, I wish to remind you of this new artisan market that is opening today at the Isla Rio Cuale for the first time, and it'll be available today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is a brand new market that I don't know much of anything about. So if you're going to be in the neighborhood, feel free to check it out and give us a report. Yesterday, by the way, we stopped by Tacos del Julio after the music presentation. At Tacos del Julio, we enjoyed a little bit of what Hecho a Mano was doing because they had their own pop-up handmade items market there. And Tacos del Julio is a wonderful new Monterrey-based franchise of tacos that just opened next to the Pemex station in Cinco de Diciembre. Really yummy food. I didn't take any photos, but I will be stopping back and checking it out and adding it to our list of taco places because it was really, really fantastic. And before we open to the comments section, I want to once again remind you that the next edition of First Saturdays at the Museum is coming back at Arte Vallarta Museo on May 6th. This is a great opportunity to mingle and meet art-minded friends from Mexico, from elsewhere, of all ages. It is a really, really fun event. It is from 6 to 8 p.m., and it features food, and it features all kinds of things. It is free admission, but if you want to buy some food, there are some tickets that can be pursued there. And this, of course, brings us to the chit-chat section. Let us take a quick look at what everybody is up to this morning. Doody-doody-doo. I see good mornings, and those are always great to see. Doody-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Many, many, many good mornings. Let's see. There's a Q. I love it. Scott says, great lecture last night. You are oh so smart. What an enjoyable evening. Thank you so very much, Scott. It was a pleasure to meet you in person. I am grateful that you attended along with Gwen. Much appreciated. And I'm glad you enjoyed the presentation. Spread the word, please. Let's see. Do-de-do-do-do. Michal chimes in. The last time I sat and listened to music, and only music, was yesterday at your lecture. It was beautiful. Thank you very, very much. Barbara likes the view from that Oxxo. Again, I haven't had the pleasure. I see another cue. Our landlady lives next door to Le Cliff restaurant, and on one visit to her stunning home, she stopped at that Oxxo so we could check it out. Yay! Purum pam pim pam pum. Paco, any comments on the Debussy piece? Question mark. Heavenly. Daniel, I'm not sure if we're talking about the links I sent you or the links you sent me, but I was very happy to learn that Daniel is also a fan of Debussy, of impressionistic music, which we covered briefly yesterday during the broadcast. And of course, Daniel has been largely responsible of us having interruption-free broadcasts lately, thanks to a generous contribution with a piece of gear that is making it easier for us to not get disconnected when the signal fails. And this is what we have going on for today. Yay! Let me whip this up. Any other comments? Anybody? If you have any comments or suggestions on what our next music appreciation presentation should be about, please let me know. Somebody suggested music from film and its relationship to the films. It's an open, it's a great idea. We'll definitely consider that. Oh no, a caca water report. Basilio is an open sewer again. The street is covered in caca water. I thought that had been fixed. Well, you never know. All I can say is dress accordingly. Okay, so I think this is what we have for today. As always, I thank you for sharing your reports, your comments, your suggestions, for being part of this community, and for keeping me company on a daily basis, except for Sundays, of course. Tomorrow, we'll be back with more headlines, more stories, and hopefully more interesting stuff. Between now and then, have a great day. Enjoy the outside while we can. It's going to get warmer later on and not too far away from now. But now, let's just have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.